Ladies and gentlemen, we are Wembley bound. Finally, after how many years? 5 years. That's all I've been hearing from these United fans, these Chelsea fans, these Liverpool fans. But guess what? We're going to Wembley. And you know what? I couldn't be more happier. And for one reason. Not only did we win, but Kai Havertz scored that last second winner. That is so on the wound. Because what this means for Arsenal is we finally are in touching distance of silverware. Something we've been lacking for so long. Like the last time we won a trophy, my hairline was down here. Yeah? Look, just look. My hairline was down here when we last won a trophy. Now it's all the way here. I was praying that if we reach this cup final, and I'm pretty sure we can win it, because we have a good record against Man City in finals, my hairline would have been over here. But thankfully, that's not the case. The case today is Arsenal victorious, Arsenal Wembley bound, and we've silenced a lot of haters so far. Now, what this could spell is for the Arsenal team is win the Carabao Cup. What's next? Is it going to be the FA Cup? Can we do the quadruple? I don't want to overachieve with my predictions, but we can't rule it out. We haven't come this close to a trophy, like I said, in 5 years. It's taken a lot of bottling, of course. It's taken a lot of transfers. It's taken a lot of systematic plays. It's taken a lot of, hate. It's taken a lot of injuries. But look, we're finally here. We need to soak it up. Today is our day. We're heading to the final. There's a lot of things that we saw in today's match, which I did not expect. I think a lot of fans can agree as well. I think there's a lot of areas that Arsenal need to definitely address, and when they do go to the final, and even when they play Sunderland on the weekend. But nonetheless, this is great momentum. I don't think personally Newcastle are going to beat Manchester City tomorrow. I think the goal margin is just too big. And I think Newcastle have had a torrid time recently. They got beaten by Liverpool pretty badly. So their morale's pretty down. And I think Man City are going to do a job. So I definitely feel like we're going to meet Man City in the final. At the time of recording this, obviously. So I don't want to get grilled in the comments about Newcastle going to the final. But what a win for us. There were some key players in this game which really, really made sure that this win was coming home. And I think we can all agree that the back line is the reason why we won that game. Kepa didn't have much to do. And obviously that's because of the organisation of the midfield and the back line. Declan Rice, absolutely incredible. Gabriel, absolutely incredible. Timber, great. Hincapié, in my watch along, I was pretty harsh on him. But now that I've come away from the stream, I'm like, do you know what? He actually made some very crucial tackles. With the ball, he's a bit up and down. Yeah, giving silly balls away. Passes. But he was actually part of the reason why we didn't lose today. Chelsea, either they didn't come at us as we normally, we're used to seeing from Chelsea, even under Maresca. But they look like they didn't want it as much as we wanted it. There was at times where it's just a bit lackluster from both teams, but I think Arsenal really, really tried. Now, Chelsea, they're very well organised, but I felt like in the last, when the 6 minutes were added on, Chelsea weren't actually trying to hunt for a goal. And Arsenal, when we're on the break, or when Trossard had the ball in the last 30 seconds or a minute, rather than holding it up in the corner flag, he tried to make some plays in. And ultimately, Declan Rice, on the break, through ball to Kai Havertz, uses Martinez as a dummy, decoy, bam, pops it in the back of the net. Game over. And what that means for us is Wembley. When was the last time you were able to say we're going to Wembley? Can't even remember. It was COVID time, COVID time. When I was doing this full time like Jokeres. But I mean, just the amount of, backlash we've been getting online, on the pundits, bottle jobs, ain't won nothing. What have you done in 5 years? Could this finally be the moment where that all pays off? All the transfers, even though it's just Carabao Cup, fair enough. For some people, it's not a big trophy. Understand that. You want the Premier League, I want the Premier League. But the Carabao Cup is a stepping stone into the right direction. And I think that's one thing that we'd always overlook is when you win one trophy, which is a Carabao Cup, or the FA Cup, that can obviously build momentum because this team has not tasted silverware in the Premier League. Gabriel's not tasted silverware in the Premier League. He's won the FA Cup, but he's not tasted the Premier League. Saliba's not had lifted the Premier League. Nobody's lifted the Premier League in our football team, apart from the ex-Man City players. So this is going to be a new feeling for them, reaching the final as a collective right now under Arteta, from the squad he's built, the squad that he's taken out of the mud. So this is why it's all the more reason, all the more motivating for Arsenal to go out and lift that cup in that final. We didn't unfortunately get any transfers, and we've got players missing like Marino. But at the same time, I want Arteta to trust our squad. We have Norgard. He didn't play today. We didn't have Erdegaard in today. We didn't have Saka in today, but we got the job done. And Chelsea, regardless if they change their manager, they buy big players. And big players obviously improve your team. And that is, I feel like even the changes that were made, they were done at the right time. The only surprise that I had was Eze wasn't taken off. He was a bit Casper the Ghost in the game, but overall, you know, he did his job in terms of defensively here and there where he could. And I think Arteta said, give him 90 minutes. Let's see what happens. And you look, we walked away with the victory. It worked. Would we have won with Erdegaard playing? I don't know. Would we have won if Havertz started? I don't know. Nobody knows. But what Arteta did today paid off. There's always two sides to the coin. What if we lost? You know, we didn't make any tactical changes, but no, we didn't. We won, and we need to enjoy it. So yeah, I'm just so psyched for this, man. I don't normally wear my Arsenal shirt in videos, but I had a feeling today we're going to win. I predicted it will be 2-1, but it was decided by 1 goal, either way. A lot of people said in my watch-along that it would be 0-0. And I think for good reason as well, because they look like they're playing the same style of football, Chelsea. But then Chelsea would go on the, the low block approach. And I think they were just waiting for a counter. And Arsenal, they're so used to low block, they know what to expect. And I think that's why they cut out so easily. Kepa, like I said, didn't have much to do. He had one shot he had to save from Enzo Fernandez. But even Kepa had a great shot. Sanchez, even better save than Kepa. But yeah, and in the end, we walked away with the victory. And Kai Havertz came back to haunt Chelsea again. So yeah. But I just want to say thank you so much for tuning into this video. I know a lot of this video is just about me celebrating, but I think we're all hyped that we reached the final. And we need to go out and win this thing. I think we can do it. Definitely. And make sure you hit the notification bell. I'm constantly uploading on this channel. I'm always doing watch-alongs now, so make sure you tune in for my pre-match prediction for Sunderland. Make sure you tune in for the Sunderland game. For my watch-along, my brother sometimes did not join me today, unfortunately, for my post-match analysis. But this channel is always going to be active. But yes, I appreciate you. Till next time.